Hello, this is Nina and I'm here with another channeled message. So today's message from Spirit is as follows. There are no limitations in the energy world. Anything can be created. You can connect with everything in any timeline. We create all the time. We choose all the time. The human is along for the ride. At the same time, the higher self is along on the ride with the human in a symbiosis. Okay, so that was the message, but let's kind of chip on it a little bit and talk more about it. Okay, so there are no limitations in the energy world. Anything can be created. And that's the truth. You know, when we are in the energy world, we are part of God's source energy, and God's source energy can create anything. So there you go. You can connect with anything in any timeline. Now, this is a very interesting experiment. And I did that once, and it was really, really profound, and I just loved it. So I chose because, okay, first I have to explain what that is, okay? Because everything is connected by the field, right? So we are all, everything that exists is kind of emanating from the one source God energy. We are all God source energy. And so whenever we connect back to that field of energy, we are automatically connected to everything that is. So you can choose to connect with anything in any time because time doesn't exist there. So when you kind of are in that space, you can kind of go like this and say, no, I want to go back to 10,000 BC, or no, I want to go forward to 5,000 years from now, or I want to go into a totally different universe and check that out, and I want to go over to Andromeda and check out what they're doing there. You can do anything. There are no limitations when you are in energy form, right? You can go anywhere at any time. So what I did, because we are also, even though we are in the physical body, a part of us is also out there in the other world. And so that part of you can go anywhere, even though you are still kind of also in this physical form, this body. And so the experience, of course, will not be as profound as if you had an OBE, an out-of-body experience, or an NDE, near-death experience. But it can be like a mental journey, if you will, even though it's not really mental. It's it's energetic. But you can have kind of a remote viewing, if you will, of something. Okay. And that's, of course, how they do the remote viewing, by the way, which has been going on for like forever, especially within the military. But anyway, so what I did is that I wanted to choose to see what it was like in the Garden of Gethsemane from Jesus' eyes. And now I know that's a big topic, but since we are all connected and we are all one, it should be possible, right? So I sank down really deep and I did a deep meditation, and I kind of saw myself go out of this body and over into the other world. And I kind of did this, you know, and I said, that time, I want to go into that time. And I felt myself being dragged down into that. And I came towards and Jesus was standing then on a little hill. And he was talking to some people sitting down on the grass, and there was trees there, you know, so they were kind of sitting in the shade, and he was standing up talking to them, and he was wearing all white or off-white. It was different kind of whites colors on him. And so I saw it I came flying towards, and then I kind of shifted and I went into his body, and then I looked out to the people in front of me, listening to what I was saying. And the feeling I had when I was inside his physical form was so amazing. It was because I knew what I was. Okay, I'm getting teary-eyed while I'm talking to you because this was such a profound experience. Me as then, you know, in Jesus' body, or Jeshua, which is Jeshua ben Joseph, which was his real name. When I was in Jeshua's body, I knew who I was. I knew that I was part of God's source energy. I knew that everything around me was energy vibrating on different frequencies. I knew what was going to happen to me as a body, as a person. I knew my way forward. I saw kind of everything, okay, and it's giving me chills all over my body. And that experience and that knowledge of Him was so profound. It was so beautiful. But you can choose anyone, okay? You can choose to go to remote view the backside of the moon, which I know many has done. You can remote see things in another galaxy. You can remote see Napoleon or just a normal peasant on a field in the 1800s, or Washington, or you can choose anybody at any time. And you can experience them from the inside, because we are all one. We are all connected, right? And so there are no limits. Okay, did you get that? There are no limits. Okay. And then we come to the last part. We are creating all the time, and we are choosing all the time. So you as a higher self is creating all the time. You are creating this journey for your human. And you're also creating other things at the same time with other light beings. I had a journey once, I have to tell you as well, where I journeyed up to actually a spaceship, and I met together with a whole bunch of other light beings, and we sat around this round table, and we were supposed to report in. Okay, so what have you been experiencing on planet Earth? Yeah, I've been experiencing such and such. Okay, so what have you been... And there was different entities, they looked very different. There were star beings from all sorts of different planets. And we kind of met there, and we talked about our experiences, but we didn't talk about it as we talk. What happened is that we took our hands, or parts of our... what do you call it, body, a light being body, and we touched each other, and in the moment we touched each other, we knew everything the other person had experienced, just like that. We just knew. It was just imprinted in us energetically. And then around the table, we all focused in the middle of the round table, and we started creating together with our minds, and or with our, not minds as in human minds, but you know what I mean, with our just thought. And the thing is that you can create on your own, but creating together with others at the same time creates an energy field that is so strong, and also having their other entities' ideas combined makes the possibilities endless, right? So it's more of a more efficient way of creating if you're creating together with others. Okay, so we do that as well. Maybe at nighttime you are traveling as well to some place where you are creating, where you are meeting up with other light beings, where you're doing stuff like that, or where you are exchanging experiences. And then you can tell, well, that's what I'm experiencing right now, on planet Earth. What are you experiencing right now? And not that time really exists or has anything to do with it, but it's something that we choose to do because it's interesting. It gives us something as a light being. So as I said, we can do anything and we can create anything at any time. So I hope that was interesting to know as well. So they said also that the human is also just along with for the ride that the higher self is creating. But at the same time, the higher self is just kind of along for the ride that the human is going through. So there is a symbiosis happening in that sense as well. That I found very interesting, the way they put that. Yeah. Is there anything else, Spirit, regarding this? Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I thought this was going to be a short video, but apparently not. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Thank you. I have to address that. Okay. Okay, so there is a difference between understanding what your higher self is creating and understand what it is that your ego is creating. There are people, the ego is very sly, it's very devious, and deceiving. it will portray itself as a higher self. Okay? Just be aware of that as a fact. So if you are not properly connected with your true self, what you might be seeing might be coming from your ego. Okay? So be aware of that fact. I have recently seen this documentary about a woman who said that she was God. And I just wish that she had seen that she was not the only one who is God, because we are all part of God. Hence, we are all God, right? But she believed that she was the only one. And she also drank alcohol heavily every day. And she also took, other substances that maybe have messed with her mind quite a bit. And I believe she also came from a situation where she had a lot of trauma that was not dealt with. So this person was deceived very much by the ego energy, in my humble opinion. Okay, in my opinion. You probably know who this is. And I'm very sad to hear that she passed away because her ego told her not to go to a doctor, and that the people who was following her was not allowed to take her to a doctor. She could have been saved as a human if they had, I think. And they were also drinking something called silver water, which is full of silver, which is of course a toxin if it gets too much in your blood. So she was blue in the end, her skin. There are so many things about this story that really just, it ripped my heart out almost, because I was so sad for her. But at the same time, I realized that her higher self, of course, this is another experience. And I understand that part. But for me, it was a very good example on how the ego can trick you into saying, but I am the higher self, listen to me, right? And, and that's a topic maybe for another video. How the frick can we know the difference, right? But here you need to really use your gut, okay? Your gut feeling. You really need to recognize, is the so-called higher self telling me things that is good for me, good for my mental health, good for my emotions, good for my body? Or is it trying to push me towards, no, but alcohol is fine, yeah, you can take this drug, no problem. Yeah, silver water is really good for you. It is discernment, of course. And it is practice, because it is a lot of meditation, and it is a lot of sinking into the true self that is you, within you. And recognize, and also ask yourself, is this something that God would recommend for you? Is this something that Jeshua would have said? Or Buddha? Or whomever you believe in? Is this something that a caring mother would have recommended for their child? Right? So it is discernment in knowing what is the true higher self and what is the ego portraying itself as a higher self. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there because I got that message as well. Okay. I hope all of this made sense for you. Thank you so much for participating. Till the next time I see you.